Okay, here we go. This is how we can that salmon that I cut up in the other video. First, you need a good quality pressure cooker, some new jar lids, and some clean jars. Today we're going to use pint-sized jars. What I do is I clean the jars and then cut the fish into 3-inch pieces. I pack those into the jars nicely, leaving a little bit of space on top. You need to boil the jar lids. I forget how long, several minutes. I think that softens up the rubber and sanitizes them. Then you put the lids on the jars and tighten down the rings. I think you're not supposed to tighten them extremely tight, just like a little more than finger tight. I like packing the jars with some of the scales showing and some of the flesh. It looks kind of nice. Then you pile them all in the pressure cooker. You need to have the little spacer underneath the first layer of jars, and you need to add enough water so that the bottom of the jars are covered with about an inch of water. Then there's another spacer that goes in the pressure cooker to separate the first row of jars from the second row of jars. You add the second row of jars. You need to put a little Vaseline around the lid of the pressure cooker. That helps form the seal. Then you need to get the lid on there nice and flush and square and tighten it in a cross fashion like you would the lugs on a wheel of a car. You know, you tighten one here, one over there, and one over there, and one over there. Instead of going around in a circle, you want to make sure the lid gets seated properly. And then you take it out to your outdoor cooker. It's best to do this outdoors. It's going to put out a lot of steam. It smells like fish, and you really don't want that to be filling up your house if you can avoid it. You've got to get the cooker going. Make sure it's on a stable platform. It's not going to tip over. Next, you need to bring it up to a boil, and you do not put the little pressure cap on the outlet there. You just let the steam boil off for about 10 minutes. And then you put the pressure cap on, and our recipe calls for using the 10 pound per square inch pressure for 110 minutes. After 110 minutes at 10 pounds, which actually takes about 2.5 hours because it takes a little while to get it up to pressure. But anyway, when it's all done cooking, then you take a nice pair of pliers, wear gloves so you don't get steam burns, turn off the source of heat, the fire, or turn down the heat, whatever you're using to warm it up. Remove the little pressure cap. It's the next thing you do. Make sure you don't get steam burns when you do this. Then you need to let the pressure bleed off until it's absolutely all gone. Don't even think about taking the lid off if there's any steam still coming out of that little thing. And I wait even a little while longer. If you've had any problems with any of your jars, if any of them have cracked, it's possible during this stage that the little place, the plug there where the steam's coming out, will get plugged up. And if the steam stops all of a sudden, you're going to have to snake it out with a piece of wire or something, a pipe cleaner. Anyway, when it's all, the pressure's all gone, you take the lid off and you end up with a whole stack of nicely canned jars of fish. They keep, up to a year or more probably. Usually eat them all up over the winter. And this stuff is just excellent. This prepared this way. I don't put any water or any spices in the jars. There's enough oil and water in the fish, just enough to when you can it works out just right. And that's it. Bust out the pasta and some pesto and stuff later on this winter. Have a nice red salmon alfredo or something. Yummy. Okay, there you go. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.